What's up, YouTube? Dax the Leader here, back with my 11th and possibly final battle of the third season of the CPL versus Pure Awesome Gaming, or POG, and his Purdue Mold Breakers. Formerly the Dallas Keldios, POG is the person who knocked me out of playoffs last season, and he could very well do it again this week because we are sitting at a 5-5 record, meaning if we lose, we're out of playoff contention, and if we win, we're pretty much in. So that's the way I'm going to approach this battle anyway. It's a must-win game for us. I am looking for some revenge against Pog, and I just really want to make playoffs. So, before we get into his team, we're gonna give our usual quick shoutouts to Chew and Solarizer and Fruit Berries for doing our mock battles this week. And with that, let's talk a little bit about Pog's team and some things I'm expecting. So, from fastest to slowest, as usual, we have the Ninjask, the Gengar, the Super Z Victini, which is his most likely choice scarf user and the biggest threat versus my team. He's got the offensive Z Salamence, and he's liked to run DDZ move as of late. He's got the Miltank, which I'm expecting to be Rock's Thunder Wave, the offensive Z Crocodile, which could be a threat to my dual psychics, the Milotic, which I'm expecting to be mixed defensive this week, the Mega Scizor, the Serena, the Electros, which could be a decent check to my Scizor and my Aerodactyl, the Hariyama, and the Aromatisse, which I'm expecting, if it comes, to be Nasty Plot Trick Room. Now, with that said, let's talk a bit about my team that I'm bringing versus Pog. We've got the Aerodactyl, the Manaphy, the Pyroar, the Weavile, the Latios, and the Scizor. So first up, we've got our Aerodactyl Penance with the Pursuit, Rock Slide, Stealth Rock, and Roost. Arrow is an excellent revenge killer versus any of his mons over base 100. Pursuit allows me to scare out and trap Victini and Gengar, Rock Slide for Mence, Teeny, and Ninjask, and the defense investment is so that I'm not 2-hit KO'd by an Adamant Recreate. Next up, we've got the Manaphy, which is hardcore, my primary win con this week, with the Tail Glow, Surf, Substitute, and Rain Dance. Pretty bulky Manaphy. Aster helped me come up with this set, and I really like what it's supposed to do. It sets up on Scizor, and it OHKOs max Spadef Careful Milotic at +7. Wait, 2 it KOs, I'm sorry. 2 it KOs max Spadef Milotic with the Tail Glow and Rain Dance boosts. This is really nice for stopping a T-Wave from Miltank, as nothing else on my team wants to get paralyzed. And like I said, I can set up on Scizor, I can set up on Milotic. I have multiple setup targets, and there's very little he can do to break and take hits from this thing at the same time. Next up, we've got Von Reinherz, the Pyroar. Normal is a very spammable typing versus Pog's team. His only resist being the Scizor and the Gengar, if I'm correct. Scizor obviously is quad weak to fire and does not want to take those hits, and Gengar as well isn't the bulkiest of mons, so it doesn't want to be switching in most of the time. And with the Unnerve ability plus HP Ice, I'm able to revenge kill a +1 Salamence through a Yachi Berry potentially, so that's pretty cool. Next up, we've got Vapod, the Weavile Choice Banded, just like in week 9. I have Pursuit, Ice Shard, Knockoff, and Foul Play. I'm speed creeping Gengar Foul Play 2, it KOs nearly every variant of Scissor after rocks, and Pursuit is to trap stuff like Victini and Gengar again, Ice Shard to revenge kill Salamence, and Knock Off just for a really nice general stab. Next up, we've got our Lackluster, the Latios, rocking the Castleberry, Hidden Power Fire, Defog, Draco Meteor, and Psyshock. So dual stab, Defog plus Hidden Power Fire to hit the Scizor, and the Castleberry is there in case we lose a speed tie versus the Gengar. I want to be able to not get one-shot by that thing. Is that all I have for Latios? That's right. Okay, and finally, we have Sparkles, the Scizor, with Swords Dance, Bug Bite, Roost, and Bullet Punch. The speed is for neutral max base 50s, and I'm rocking the Metal Coat, which gives me a really good chance to OHKO Aromatisse with a Bullet Punch if it's a max HP variant after rocks, but it's actually not guaranteed. And I do have the Bug Bite for that Serena. So, that's my team that I'm hoping will carry us to playoffs in the CPL. And with that, let's get into the battle. Alright you guys, here we are with our battle versus Pog and his Purdue Mold Breakers. You can see he brought the Mega Scizor, the Salamence, the Milotic, the Miltank, Electros, and Aromatisse. So, no Victini. That is the first thing I noticed, and that's crazy because I really think that was the biggest problem for me. That's the biggest threat he could have brought. But because he doesn't have the Victini, I think I can pretty safely lead off with my Manaphy. Because the other most likely leads on his part are, in my opinion, the Miltank to get up rocks or paralyze something right away, or the Scizor because that has access to U-turn. So here we go. Manaphy comes out, as he does in fact lead the Miltank as I expected, and I'm just going to throw up a substitute right now to block any Thunder Wave shenanigans. Now, he brings in the Electros, which I should have taken the hint right away that this thing is designed to take hits from Manaphy and do damage back. So, because I'm behind a substitute, I don't want to switch out right away. What I should have done here is just surfed, attacked this thing, get some damage off on it because it doesn't have any reliable recovery. But instead I set up a Tail Glow in case, for whatever reason, this thing can't break a sub or whatever, but that was not a great play. And I'm just going to sub up again. This is not accomplishing anything. I really should have just attacked this thing and got out of here. But obviously, I'm getting the feeling that this is an Assault Vest Electros. Okay, well, I think the reason I Tail Glowed is because I thought that I might have been able to kill with a +3 Surf. I knew I outsped. But I should have calced that first, and then when I did calc it, I found out that I can't in fact OHKO this thing, and I did not want to take all that damage on Manaphy. I'm already quite weakened. So I'm going to bring out the Latios here in order to take any kind of electric move and then do some big damage with a Psyshock by passing the Assault Vest. So I'm going to take that Thunderbolt, throw off a Psyshock, which doesn't even do 50%, so this thing is clearly max HP, and he's going to knock me off and do big damage. And right here, I'm going to go into Weavile, because I don't think he's going to go for a fighting type move or a U-turn versus my Latios, because a U-turn would kill me and get momentum from my side, so I think he's just going to hard switch out either into Scizor, potentially, which Weavile wouldn't make sense there, but the Miltank was also a semi-likely play. Anyway, getting in Weavile here means I can Pursuit Trap the Electros and just remove it from the game, making my Manaphy's job way easier. And I also could throw off a knockoff versus anything, as I'm going to do right. Oh, sorry, yeah, okay. He goes into Miltank, so obviously I'm going to switch into Manaphy, because this is my status absorber this week. I need to Rain Dance now to cure myself of this paralysis, as he's just going to bring back Electros. Now, again, I have to switch out right here, but I don't, because, I don't know, I'm not sure what I was thinking here. I think I can take hits from this or something. But no, nothing else really kills this though. So I have to sack Latios, and then I get the kill with knockoff. By the way, I got the kill with knockoff, meaning this is Weavile's first kill all season, which is crazy. 11 weeks, 1 kill, about time. And I didn't go for the pursuit there in case he wanted to bring in the Aromatisse or the Milotic or the Miltank or something, which really don't like having their items knocked off, and I knew that, like, knockoff was just a really safe... Yeah, it was a safe play, and it lost me... it gained me more than it lost me, really. No drawback, that's the word I'm looking for. So Scizor's gonna come out right here, and this gives me the chance to go into my Pyroar to threaten it out. Because I know the rain is going to end right here, and I can just throw off a Hyper Voice predicting the Milotic, and because of that Hyper Voice damage, this reveals his Milotic to be max HP, max defense, without any special defense investment, so that's great for my Manaphy. I know I can take this thing on, and I believe that's just what I'm going to do right here. I'm going to go into Manaphy, that's right, and I'm going to start setting up. He does miss the Toxic, which is a little unfortunate. That would have forced me to go for the Rain Dance, which I kind of would have gone for anyway. Yeah, he doesn't U-turn, interestingly, making me think that he doesn't have it. But, anyway, Manaphy's going to come out here, and I'm going to be able to get up a Substitute on this turn. Right? Yes, sub, and then I'm going to Tail Glow and be able to take out this Miltank, because there's no set of Miltank that can take a +3 Surf. Nice tech on Pog's part with the Seismic Toss. Basically, this means that he cannot break my sub. And now I can start claiming these kills with Manaphy. He's gonna go into the Scizor. I'm assuming he just wants damage off on this thing with Bullet Punch, but he doesn't even go for it. And what he reveals here is that he thought he could live a hit, but he forgot to plug in Rain into the Calc, so I'm able to get the kill off on the Scizor, which is pretty nice. And now we're up 5-3, so it's looking great for us. The Salamence is going to come in right here, and because I'm not max speed on my Manaphy, I'm really expecting this thing to be able to outspeed me. But, so I'm just going to throw off the Surf, sacking the Manaphy here. But he doesn't actually, or just, I'm going to... Yeah, on the sack play, also on the potential DD, just to make sure this thing can't set up. But he lives, and he's going to throw off the Supersonic Sky Strike, taking out my Manaphy. Now, I might have had to preserve Manaphy right there. It's not like I had much of an alternative play, because I really didn't want him setting up, and I figured he'd be faster. So, it was an interesting situation. But you're going to see that losing my Manaphy means that I'm going to have a much harder time breaking the Milotic. So I bring in Weavile right here, and I need to make some plays in order to not lose to that Milotic. So because he's not Choice Scarfed or Dragon Dance, or like maybe he is Dragon Dance but he didn't go for it, he's basically, he's at neutral speed. I know that my Weavile can outspeed, so I can freely go for the knockoff right here. And I'm going to remove the item on this Aromatisse, which is pretty nice. And here I'm going to go into Aerodactyl to get up my rocks. That's what Aromatisse gives me the opportunity to do. And with rocks up, he has no defoggers left. I got rid of the Scizor, so Salamence is dead on entry. Right now, as the rocks go up. And now what I'm going to try to do is flinch down this Milotic with some Rock Slides. Unfortunately, I missed the first one, so I have a few more chances. But you're going to see I'm not going to get it. And Aerodactyl is going to go down right here. Now we're in an interesting spot, because what I have to do at this point is set up some Swords Dances with the Scizor and take him out with Bug Bite. What you're going to see is that I'm gonna keep on Swords Dancing. I have to risk the burn right here, and I'm also going to be letting him recover because this wasn't like people watching the game didn't understand this live. But what has to happen right here is that because Weavile doesn't have Icicle Crash, I need this Scizor alive to kill the Aromatisse. Unless he chokes and sacks it off at some point. He can just stay in with Milotic and win the game, is what, based on my team, I'm pretty sure he's going to be able to just stay in and wall the rest of my team with this Milotic. But the idea is to be healthy enough to take out this Milotic and then not die to burn and bullet punch the Aromatisse and kill it. That's the way I have to win right here because I couldn't preserve Manaphy. Maybe if I switched into Arrow on the Sky Strike or something. But you're going to see that that's not going to work out. I'm not going to be able to beat this Milotic. It's running out of recovers. It's down to like very few, and I'm going to start knocking off. I get the crit as he spams recover, which is really helping me out actually. He has to stay above 50% to take on my Pyro so that I don't 2-hit KO him with the Hyper Voice. So that's why he's spamming recovers right here, but that's giving me a chance to crit, which is really nice, and I'm thinking I may be able to bring this game back if I get lucky enough. But here he's gonna switch out of the Milotic at less than 50, which is giving me a chance to win, interestingly enough. And out comes the Pyroar, which can just kill off the Aromatisse with a Hyper Voice, and then if I can crit, no, he wasn't under, anyway, if I can crit either of these Hyper Voices, I just win the game. But you're gonna see that's not gonna happen, and unfortunately this is gonna be the end of the line for our CPL Season 3. Now, obviously I am a little bit upset about this because that means we're not going to playoffs. I don't think I played too bad this game though. Like, the Salamence play with the Sky Strike, there really wasn't much else I could do. I could have, like, I played to my outs. The only way I had to kill this Milotic was the Manaphy. My biggest misplays were early on, actually, when I let it get weakened, when I went for those subs repeatedly. If I had been healthier, I might have been able to live the Sky Strike, but, like, I kind of doubt it, I don't know. Or at least been in a comfortable enough position to throw out the Aerodactyl on the Sky Strike. If he Dragon Danced, I would be able to attack, and then I would still have Weavile to revenge it. I would still have Pyroar if he didn't Dragon Dance a second time. So ultimately, I should have kept Manaphy healthier, and I should have sacked Arrow to Salamence in order to have a chance to beat this Milotic. But yeah, that's going to be the end of the line. Thanks so much, you guys, for watching this whole season. I really am grateful. My channel has taken off quite nicely. I've been on YouTube for what, 4 months now, I want to say, and it's really been a great time. I've had a great time making these videos, sharing my league content with you guys, and although it's over for now, I can guarantee you we have bigger plans in the future, and I am so excited to share that. I am thinking of doing like a season recap video telling you how I feel about all my mons that I drafted, what I learned and everything. So how about you leave some comments down below if you want to see something like that. But that's gonna be it for me, guys. Leave a like, retweet, and maybe even subscribe. But until next time, later, guys.